Well, it is finally time to sit down with Care For Me by Saba. I was thinking just now as I was setting up, I can't remember a time where I was been doing this channel and there was not a suggestion for this album. So this has been requested for a very, very long time. You guys have heard me probably say it before. There's no particular reason why certain albums take so long to get to. It's just kind of how it goes. I was reading the Wikipedia entry for it, and this came after his very close, well, his cousin, his older cousin died, but also somebody who considered to be a close friend. His cousin was stabbed to death. You know, when it comes to losing somebody, it's not easy, of course. And then, you know, you lose somebody to a car accident or an accident in general. That's hard. Losing somebody to murder, I can't even really wrap my mind around that one. But then you get into the realm of murder and how awful that is to begin with. And then you think, God, they were fucking stabbed to death? Like, that is a very brutal, violent way to go. You know? And I don't even want to think about it, honestly. So, read the Wikipedia entry. And I guess a lot of this is him dealing with that. And I think this is going to work out pretty well. It's gray outside. It was gray outside. Now it's not gray anymore. But I'm kind of tired. It's a lot easier for me to be like all emotional when I'm tired. Not that I necessarily fight it when I'm not tired or anything like that, but it seems to just spill out. So this might be a messy video, which is fine. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had some good old-fashioned, honest, sideways bob. Shorter album, 10 tracks, 41 minutes. The last, or no, I'm sorry, not the last one. I saw some people mention Prom King. That's a big one, apparently. That's the longest one. The rest of them, a couple 5 minutes, couple 2 minutes, you know, kind of just a mixed bag. I found 3 music videos that will be part of the Patreon, whatever you call it, version, the uncut version. If you want to watch it, it's $2 for a month of Patreon. There's no cuts, there's no ads, which is great, right? Because YouTube's filling them all up with ads. And of course, I do music video reactions too. I found 3. I forget which ones they are. I don't have them up. I've got them behind this page. A little nervous, honestly. A little nervous. But I shouldn't be. You know, it's just... I think really I say I'm nervous because I can feel myself already existing in more of a vulnerable place, and we're going to probably get into it. So we'll just take it how it goes. To my knowledge, I don't know if I've ever heard Saba. He may have been featured on a couple albums, but I can't recall, honestly. So this is obviously the first time hearing an album by him, but this also might be the first time hearing him in general for me. Let's jump in. Track 1's called Busy/Sirens. 5.5 minutes, 38 million plays. Here we go. Dropping in. First time listening to Care For Me by Saba.
I'm so alone. But all of my friends got some shit to do. Yeah. All of them got plans, I call them my bad and text, and they never cross me like bad pedestrians. I've been this awkward since adolescence. I don't know how long I had depression, never no peer pressure. I'm trying to get my little peck of offense. Some girl I call my BFF, that ain't no secret kept. I fucked and told my cousin I'm broke, I wasn't buzzing. I tried to hit a few years, she wasn't budging. I'm bogus, left my girl for some shorty deserving of all this lonely. You sad, tell me how are you sad? You got all of these friends, you got all of these fans. I ain't trust nobody new since 2012, I ain't let nobody in. Jesus got killed for our sins, Walter got killed for a coat. I'm trying to cope, but it's a part of me gone. In the pet room I'm alone. I'm in a busy day. I'll hit you back right away. I seen that skies were gray. I hope to God you'll say.
Already lots being said between what's not being said.
I seen that skies were gray.
Neat production, very much capturing this mood. he's doing an excellent job of capturing this loneliness brought on by busyness. This is something I've been struggling with, honestly, lately. Full-time job and just lots going on, right? And it's no one's fault of, it's just life in general. And so something I try and do is like simplify, essentially, like what is it that I feel like I'm missing out on, which generally speaking would just be time with my family, even though we spend time together. But man, the days slip by and the weeks slip by, and then all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, all this time's gone by. So I'm trying to just take advantage of what we have now, because what we have now is so great. But life is so good at, we're just going to do this. This thing came up. We're just going to, it's just always these things. And often with the three of us, we go out and do these things together. But there was this bit he was talking about, I'm so alone, just me and my girl, which that you go, well, how are you alone if it's you and your girl? She leaves me for work, then she leaves me for school, then she's finally home, then I leave for tour. And it's that kind of thing, right? Like, yeah, you're together, but you're always passing by each other rather than spending time together. Something I force myself to not think about because I get upset. If I do think about it is, how much time do I spend with the people I work with every week versus my own family? I don't like thinking about that. And it's not like the people I work with are bad people. They're good people, but they're not my fucking family, What he's talking about is clearly different from what I'm talking about, but I mention all of these things on my side so that I can establish a very strong parallel. Like, I'm not in his lane specifically, but I'm, it's like if he's on the freeway, I'm on the surface road that's right next to the freeway, going the same, feeling the same way, basically. And I love this, how are you sad? Tell me how you're sad. You got all these friends, you got all these fans. And basically people asking him, what the fuck? Why are you sad? How can you be sad? But that's something else that you hear often too with people who are famous or people whoever. Like, yeah, they've got all these fans, but nobody knows them really as a person. He doesn't get to spend time with anyone. Like, it's just this weird dual state. Great sound of the production, really just kind of setting the mood. Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling here. I love this small talk too. People asking how was tour. No, I've been home for 2 months, but I've only seen you 2 times. Save the small talk. Great shit. So is this here? I mean, if it's Sirens, it's got to be when he finds out about his cousin, right? Kind of surprised by the tempo.
Riding through the city, I'm young, I'm black, I'm guilty. I know one time wanna kill me, they don't know me, but they feel me. 15 years old with this sticky, they gon' blame me on the marijuana. Hands behind your head, and they won't head about the head. Sirens on the way. Now you're lying where the angels lay. Sirens on the way. Now we're lying where the angels lay. Sirens on the way.
His production, I'm assuming these lyrics are specifically associated with the death of his cousin. And this production surprises me a bit. And let's click on the annotation to just confirm the suspicion here. Sirens mentioned by Saba to depict 2 opposing images. Oh, maybe not. That are distinguished by the words your and we're. The first set of sirens, now your lane, where the I lane refer to the emergency vehicles arriving at the scene of John Walt. Yeah, okay. Got that figured out. Okay. The angels are receiving John after his death, of course. It makes sense Saba would be envisioning this as... I don't know why they're talking about the Bible. I mean, angels, sure. Second set of sirens refer exclusively to law enforcement following Saba. Sure. Okay. Anyway, that's a long ass annotation. I guess really what I'm so the impression I get, and I want to just be specific to, this is my own just impression, right? This isn't, I'm not saying this is what he intended or this is what it means, but surprised by the tempo in the production portion of the Sirens being on the way. And it almost makes you wonder if the idea is, you know, it hasn't like hit yet. It's almost like a conceptual feeling, you know, like you can receive information and understand it from an informational point of view, but you haven't processed what that means to you on an emotional level. So that's really how I'm taking that. The second verse, or this verse in Sirens, is pretty incredible. Riding through the city, I'm young, I'm black, I'm guilty. I know one time want to kill me. They don't know me, but they fear me. 15 years old with the sticky. They got to blame it on the marijuana. Hands behind your head. So this is like the cops part. And they won't let up. They won't let up. They won't up their lead. But if I move, that's disrespect. But if they shoot, then that's just that, right? So if he does anything wrong, he's disrespecting them. But if they shoot him, it's not a problem, which is, yeah. And if I run, then that looks bad, which is great because, of course, you would want to run because you're worried about these fuckers killing you because they'll just do it without a hesitation or even a concern about it. Drawing their gun right off their hip, I'm probably deserving because I know they serve and protect, but they think I'm serving and I think my cell phone's a weapon, of course. Heard that the robber wore a black mask. I fit the description, a.k.a. I'll just say black. What is the difference? It's an enigma. We're so divided from division. Clutch, I like this line a lot. Clutch that purse because of my dreadlocks. Right? Like being afraid of somebody else simply because of their hairstyle. And I mean, that kind of concept right there is one of the driving things that made me start this channel. And I have to listen to this stuff on my own. I have to listen to hip hop on my own. I have to form my own opinion. Because there's so much shit out there that just pumps fear and lies and prejudice and racism into people's heads and they don't realize it. It's really kind of fucking wild. The ideas that you'll have in your own mind about something when you've never even taken the time to consider it for yourself, to look into it for yourself. We all have it in some aspects, one way or another. Curse every song in hip hop. Keep telling yourself keep telling yourself it's all fair. Cool track. Let's keep going. This is gonna be a hell of a ride, I can tell already. Track 2 is called Broken Girls. Oh, I never mentioned the producer. Here's a couple. It's featured in the mind Day Pivot, Dowd, and Saba. The production of the first one. This one's Saba, Day Pivot, and Dowd. So same producers for track 2, which is called Broken Girls. I guess we'll start that over. One other thing I want to mention too, this loneliness thing that he's describing. I think that's important to keep in mind in reference to his cousin also dying, because it sounded like just in the Wikipedia description that they were close friends. So sounds like there's this loneliness that he was already suffering from prior to his cousin being killed. So now we're probably going to go right into the deep end, right? Anyway, all right, track 2, Broken Girls. But I also feel like right now, like in the album structure, it seems like the character within the album, is maybe unaware his cousin has died. I don't know. Girls, hey girl. I'm in love with broken girls. Hey girl. Really, I'm broke myself, and I think she might help. Really, I love a story, and I think she might tell. Really, I'm not your crutch. Really, you're not my girl.
Really, she using me, but it's cool, we use each other. I'm in love with contemplating about the pressure, conversations about depression, confrontation, cause we care too much about each other. We know it ain't permanent, but temporary, releasing your Issa Rae insecure. Collect them like Pikachu Venusaur. I'm in love with broken girls, 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 hey girl.
I want to hit this verse real quick. Really, I'm broke myself. I'm really happy that he ties into that. Not that he is broke with himself, but acknowledging that. I think she might help. I love her story. I think she might tell. I'm not your crutch. You're not my girl. She's using me. It's cool. We use each other. This section was incredible. I'm in love with contemplating about the pressure, conversations about depression, confrontation, because we care too much about each other. We know it ain't permanent, but temporary. That little section right there, being in love with really the struggle within the relationship rather than the relationship itself. And then you get into this, we go till you're done or my penis or sleep with the TV on, then we don't speak no more. Even if I don't feel the thing for a second, I feel complete. So it's like this trying to fill this hole, and it goes back to the first line. I'm broke myself. I think she might help, but really it doesn't help, does it? All right, let's keep going. This is interesting.
Red light like broken glass. Really, I'm not my past. Really, I snatched her soul. Really, that's not to brag. Really, when I'm alone. Really, I'm not there. Really, I know you're empty, but I think I can fill your glass. Fetishizing all your problems. I wanted you more since I found out you heartless. Harboring feelings for niggas who hurt you. Know you on the surface, but not on the personal
I like
level.
this.
I play the game of hearts. Missing piece, we ain't apart. Depend on me until I'm bored. I return your heart as quick, I return your call. Girl, girl, girl. I'm in love with broken girls. Girls, 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 girls.
There's something in this chorus, this repeating of the girls. I'm in love with broken girls. I'm in love with broken girls. The way he's saying it, the way he's really hammering the repetition of it. It's almost like another way of saying, I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm broken. It's almost like a mantra. It feels that way. It comes off that way. And so this concept of being in love with broken girls almost feels like a shielded version of analyzing the self and just saying to yourself in a somewhat guarded way, I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm broken. And so, obviously there's a lot of emphasis on this, but really what I'm trying to do is tap into the mental state and that feeling of, God damn, dude, like I'm broken. I'm broken. I want to say more, but it would be presumptuous. Let's keep the song going. I think I'll let it finish. Well, maybe. I say that so many times and then I pause 20 seconds later.
Make me feel big, crown me, she down me, treat me like shit. Second time, round two, what I learned, she want mine. I want love, I want hers, I'm not her anymore.
This whole flow feels like heavy footsteps, just trudging along.
And she made me feel whole, heal me, and it's mutual, and we still in love.
I like the it's like offset, somewhat disorienting rhythm. Trippy closer right there. Let's keep going. Tread light like broken glass. I'm not my past. I snatched her soul. It's not to brag. When I'm alone, we're not that happy. I kind of like, there's been a couple lines where he breaks the word in order to rhyme. It kind of works for me. I know you're empty, but I think I can fill your glass. Fetishizing all your problems. I wanted you more since I found out you're heartless. And that, to me, hints at, like, you know, a small element of self-harm in a sense. Like, I want someone to treat me badly. I'm broken. I deserve to be treated badly. That kind of concept. Harboring feelings for people who hurt you, know you on the surface, but not on a personal level. I play the game of hearts. Missing piece. We ain't apart. Depend on me until I'm bored. Return your heart as quick as I return your call. We learned in the previous track he doesn't really return calls. Or was it text? Maybe I'm mixing that up. Tables turn quicker because after a weekend I miss you. I don't want you, but I'm conflicted. I know that back and forth. Yo-yo shit is over with, but you're going to take me back. I'm going to convince you. Pain it never looks so tempting. Lonely never looks so distant. We're just going to ignore the tension. You know we're both not shit. I know that shit's toxic. And then this bridge. This whole time I've been obsessed with being sad. She was my quick escape. Made me forget. Hear her speak. See her weep. Made me feel big. That's a big one right there. Made me feel big. Cry on me. She's down on me. Treat me like shit. Second time, round 2. What I learned. She wasn't mine. That wasn't love. I wasn't hers. I'm not hurt anymore. She took some time. Found a girl, now I'm hers, and she's mine, and she makes me feel whole, heal me and mutual, and we're still in love. So he finds a second girl, but the first one, it's like a coping mechanism. Interesting album so far. I mean, we're only 2 tracks in. 25 minutes to get through 2 tracks. That's fine, right? That's fine. Let's keep going. I want to talk more, but I want to keep listening too. I don't want to get too hung up and like solve it. I just want to, let's go on this ride. So track 3 is called Life, produced by Saba, Day Pivot, and Dowd. Here we go. Track 3, Life.
I got angels running away. I got demons hunting me. I know Pop with 25. I know Jesus 33. I tell death to keep a distance. I think he obsessed with me. I say God, that's a one. Mama mixed the vodka with the Sprite.
I like how the production feels. The fuck he's tearing up.
He was gone for more than half my life. He got out a year and then he died. I was on the road, talking to my father on the phone. Left the city when I was just 4. None of them would get along. Mama begging hippo when it coast. I was chilling with my niggas poop. Now they trying to take his life. Don't mean shit to a nigga
that
never had
life.
shit. Yeah, light don't mean lit. In the dark fight don't mean fish. Oh, ice don't see. Ice don't see. Ice don't freeze. Light don't leave. I don't mean light to me. Tell me it'll be okay. Tell me I'll be okay.
Wow.
Tell me that she might be.
Wow.
Be alone.
I kind of got chills right there. Honestly, that was a great like musical function of building up. You know, it starts out pretty mellow. It's got a good little thick bass line in there. And then the production fills in with that whatever sounds like a blurry water. It's not water, but it's just kind of a blurry sound, blurry instrument. And then his vocals pick up, and then he starts spitting fire, just fucking go. And it kind of almost like gets to this point of exhaustion quick, and then everything drops out and tell me it'll be okay. Tell me happier days. Tell me that she might be, that I won't be alone. I mean, it captures just kind of that frenzied anxiety, concern, just inside. Please, just tell me. Give me something to hope for. You know? I'm going to back it up a little bit. I want to kind of hear that section again. It was pretty incredible, that drop. Like an inverse beat drop, basically. That right there. The production really opens up. It's like your inner fear, your core type.
Tell them that we the same. Tell them that we not safe.
I got my granddaddy's soul. I'm at war, that's on my mind. I see Walter body cold. Wish I could switch it with mine. I'm not worried about no rap shit. Distractions or waste of times.
Wow.
I still go to social functions even though I'm so anti.
My mom mixed it vodka with the Sprite. Killed my cousin with a pocket knife. While my uncle on the phone. He was gone for more than half my life. He got out a year and then he died. I was on a roll, talking to my father on the phone. Left the city when I was just 4, none of them would get along. Mama begging him for when the cold. I was chilling with my niggas poop, now they tryna take his life.
Fucking crazy. That song is incredible. That's life. Mama mixed the vodka with the Sprite. They killed my cousin with a pocket knife. Fuck, man. I mean, pocket knives, generally speaking, aren't that big, right? So if you're going to stab somebody to death with a pocket knife, you got to put some work in. And that's already a brutal, violent murder to begin with. But then to do it with a pocket knife, like the intensity that's there. Killed my cousin with a pocket knife while my uncle was on the phone. He was gone for more than half my life. He got out a year and then he died. What did his uncle die of? My uncle was, the yellow is when it's verified by the artist. So this is what Saba says. My uncle was super close with me and he lives in our house and everything. So when he got taken away, it was, again, another thing I struggled with. And then when he came home, he just died in his sleep. So it was another thing like crazy that I struggled with. And then my dad just not being in the same place that I was is another thing that I struggled with. Was the uncle the father of the cousin that got killed? That's my question. I mean, I don't know. Mama begging him for winter coats. I was just chilling with my friend Spootin'. They're trying to take his life. This verse too, I got my granddaddy's soul. I'm at war, that's on my mind. I seen Walter's body cold. Wish I could switch it with mine. Not worried about no rap shit, distractions, or waste of time. I still go to social functions even though I'm so anti-social. It cuts off there. And then no, I'm no Rihanna. So that's a reference to the album Anti, which is pretty clever. The court gonna throw it like Donovan down a bit. Like McNabb? Oh, Donovan Mitchell. Oh, okay. I just been modeled my whole career as if Pac was here, studio monitor shaking to raise the apartments and Bono with profit. Pro Bono would be without profit, right? Oh, I don't know much about YouTube at all, but I know Bono does a lot of charitable things. Oh, okay. That's just a quick nod. I've actually been listening to some YouTube again lately. Actung Baby. I forgot. Everyone talks about Joshua Tree, great album, but Actung Baby is pretty fucking good too. I hadn't listened to it in a while. Put it on. Oh yeah. A lot of people dream until their shit gets shot. He uses some of his verbiage, his wordage. It throws me off a little bit. Tell me it'll be okay. Tell me happier days. Jesus, man. The song's pretty intense. Angels running away, demons hunting me. I know Pac was 25, Jesus was 33. Tell death to keep a distance. I think he's obsessed with me. I say, God, that's a woman. I know she would die for me. They want a barcode on my wrist to auction off the kids. Shit, man. You know, I'm just like kind of reading the lyrics, obviously, but I'm realizing I'm not really like digging down into them to try and analyze for more. I'm reading because I feel like this is more just flow of consciousness. Like he's just rattling off all these fucking things. Just all these things that are in his head and worried about. Rightfully so. But it's pretty intense. And, you know, he's just got this life. That's life. Not always. Not always. I mean, for him, in this situation, I'm not trying to criticize his perspective here, but really what I want to say is if anybody out there is like listening to this album and connecting with it and agreeing, yeah, that's life. No. I put a little asterisk next to that and put, that's life right now. Things change. Things change. So don't, I call it for my own like mental things, right? I call it the island. Don't get stuck on the island. Don't get stuck inside of your own thoughts in your own head and all the things that you're just thinking, and don't turn those into real things if they're not actually real. You know, so one of those things that could be an example of that is the idea of that life is always horrible. Life is always filled with anxiety and people dying and losing people and loneliness. That's not true. That's not true. You might be feeling that right now. That might be how your life is now, and that could be true right now. But it's not a permanent state. There are loads of people out there who do not have a life like that. So the idea of that's life, asterisk that and put right now, because there are other things in life too. It's intense. It's great, but it's intense, very intense. Let's move on to track 4, which is called Calligraphy. Did the sun leave? Good. The angle. Every now and then in the morning, right now, this time of year, the angle of the sun will shine just through the blinds, right there. And I got to sneeze. Or I don't. Yep, I did. If you're listening on MP3, that portion of the video was odd because it was just silence, but I muted the thing. Okay, track 4 is called Calligraphy, produced by Saba, Dede Pivot, and Dowd. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same 3 guys throughout the whole album. Drop it in, track 4. Life was intense. I'm really enjoying the delicateness and kind of messiness at the same time of the production.
I don't tell the truth, so y'all feel sorry for me. I don't write this shit, so y'all feel God coming. I don't get down like that road, the amount of raps just on the mission to find some calligraphy. Needed to feel, moved to the beat of my drum. I don't mean kicking the snare, we cannot bear all of the fucked up shit that we've been through. I got keeping us here. We be aware, but only time will tell when you will find out your lips. Calligraphy.
Ha.
Write it away, write it away. I just got tired of running away, running away. Everyone leaving, I write them away, write them away.
Ha.
Calligraphy. Write it away, write it away.
Oh, nice.
I just got tired of
bass
running
inclusion
away,
there.
running away. Everyone leaving, I write them away, write them away. Calligraphy. Write it away, write it away. I just got tired of running away, running away. Everyone leaving, I write them away, write them away. Calligraphy.
This is a beautiful song. As someone who thoroughly enjoys physically writing, like pen to paper, I find that process to be extremely therapeutic for me. I haven't done it in a while. That might be why. Maybe that's why I've been feeling a little bit more certain things, you know. Maybe I should just sit down and just write. For me, though, it does feel like this physical form of dumping that out. Just pouring all these black, toxic, non-healthy thoughts out. Stress, worry, frustration, whatever it is, you know, it just feels like it's pouring out of the pen, honestly, for me. I don't tell the truth so y'all feel sorry for me. I don't write this shit so you will feel God coming. I like that he says this. He's not saying this essentially for sympathy, right? He's just doing this to work it out. I wrote the amount of raps just on a mission to find something. So he's working it out. And that was something else that was mentioned in the Wikipedia entry. The quote from him is, struggling with all this shit, trying to work through it. And that's really the whole concept of the album. Needed to feel, move to the beat of my drum. Love that line. Love that line. Because what he's saying there is, through writing, that process, it brings him out of this state of numbness, of loneliness, of brokenness. It kind of gets the feelings flowing again. It gets him feeling back like himself again, which is fantastic. So any of you out there, if you have a process and maybe you haven't been feeling that great and you haven't been using that process that you know works, come on, y'all. Use that process. Use that process. Get back to who you really are. Get off the island. Get off the island. We cannot bury all of the fucked up shit that we've been through while God's keeping us here. We be aware, but only timing will tell. When will you find all your letters? When you will find all your letters. What's that mean? Finding the story to tell through your letters is reference to his cousin John, who also wrote raps. Oh, interesting. The process of finding Saba's voice through his raps, but also remember his cousin, finding your letters. Okay, all right, sure. Write it away, got tired of running away. Everyone's leaving, I write them away. So he's just, instead of trying to run from these feelings, he's writing things, he's processing. This is an incredible line too. I'm not mad at God. I just can't get out of bed. I mean, that one really hits. I'm not mad at God. I just can't get out of bed. You know, that really puts into perspective the amount of defeat that's being felt. You know, I just can't get. My best friend's obituary really hangs on my wall by the dresser. I'm trying to see it as a life lesson. No time for mourning on my schedule. I seem to write less. Now this part, I don't know if it's supposed to be positive or negative. You know, we open up the album with busy, but it's busyness that is really kind of like empty, meaningless things that are really a detraction from quality relationships. But you could almost look at the other way and go, you know, I'm trying to say this is a life lesson. No time for mourning on my schedule. I seem to write less, meaning he's now busy, meaning hopefully he's doing something that's healthy. But I don't know, because it comes right after I just can't get out of bed. So who knows? Maybe it's both. Maybe when he wakes up, he doesn't want to and he forces himself to. I don't know. Reading the signs like I'm a highway driver. I just hit blase, hieroglyphic. I see the wall that they're writing. I build the wall up in my head. Autopilot what it feels like I was on. I sent the word out. Flying. Let's keep going. This is an incredible track. Beautiful sound. Right here. Beautiful sound. Very tortured sound. Very tortured sound. I can't believe we're only 4 songs in. I can't believe that this has all happened over the course of essentially 16 minutes of music. This is incredible. These first 4, it looks like the listens kind of drop off a bit. Maybe people just hit the first 4. But I'm really quite blown away by how much has happened in 16 minutes of music. This is incredible. You know, I didn't mention the cover, but it's a great cover. I mean, it's kind of perfect, right? I mean, just sitting on the table like that, staring at nothing, captures it. Let's keep going. This is fascinating. Track 5 is called Fighter. It's featuring Kina? I don't know. Saba, Daddy Pivot, and Doubt are the producers. Track 5, Fighter. I like that he's kind of got like this almost spaciness to some of the production too. It makes me wonder if Saba is somewhat a fan of Radiohead.
Me and E got just fought cause his family wouldn't stop talking. We neighbors who argued often. I run, I jogged him, tossed a jab and I caught him. He threw a left, ain't connect cause I ducked. When I came back up, I seen his sister talking trash. Like, touch my brother, I'm beating your ass. So I fucked the brother up to see what she about. Yeah, walked away and then we noticed that his teeth was out. Yeah, she ain't deuces, she just mad we got to see her pout. So me and Sel, we just fought. I was walking and then he jogged me. I dropped to the floor while calling for help in front of my grandmother's house. The next hit he punched me in my mouth. I can't believe I'm on the ground cause I tried to hit him. I gamble. I'm ugly crying in public. I'm like, when I get you back, you gon' wish that you never touch me. Somehow I never could touch him. Our brothers broke the shit up and I walked the rest of the day with my head down. Funny how getting your ass beat a spread around. Me and Grandpa ain't talked since I stopped attending the college. He called me, said I'm a scholar. I should be getting my doctorate or shit, at least in the army. Instead, you chose to hip-hopper. I know how this is gon' end, cause I went through this with your father. Me and my girl just fought, cause I talked before she could talk. She was telling a story, I cut her off with some shit not about the same topic. So she just stopped in the middle before the plot hit the rest of the car. I silent like you always do this, like you don't value my thoughts. Either that or you too damn stupid to realize that if you don't hear me out, then I'ma feel muted. You say that you care, well show it. I'm not asking a lot. I know you think you listening, but you just waiting to talk. My fault.
I like that second verse a lot. The first verse, the opening verse, I think is cool. You know, it's setting the stage a bit for the rest of the track. Getting in this fight with E-Guy. Who the fuck is E-Guy? Well, like, is that a real name? Anyway, whatever, right? Just fought because his family wouldn't stop talking. So he beats this guy up. So me and Cell, we just fought. I was walking and he jawed me. So there's other guys. So there's E-Guy and there's Cell. These two guys, you know, getting in fights. So he beats some dude's ass. This other dude beats his ass. And he's talking about, I don't want to fight no more. And then the second verse, he's scrapping again. But then everything else is also more fights. You know, arguments. Fights. So the guy jumps in. The guy that beat his ass jumps in to help him. And then it jumps right into, so instead of fighting with him, he came and teamed up with me. And then immediately, me and my grandpa ain't talked since I stopped attending college. Called me and said I'm a scholar to get my doctorate, at least in the army. So he has a fight with his grandfather. He has a fight with his girlfriend. I don't want to fight no more. But, well, let's go to verse 3. But I like how on the between verses 1 and 2, you know, I don't want to fight no more. And then what's immediately happening afterward is more fighting. 'Cause I'm not fine. I want no more. Funky beat. Odd production. Very odd. And it doesn't feel like a fight, which is cool.
It's harder to love myself when all these people compliment me. Somehow it just remind me what I don't got. But these folks don't care to know, they think you rolling in the dough. Not realizing your next meal is a 4 for 4.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing too, man. I'll let it finish. It's about a minute. Oh, wow. Huge beat change. Slept at Waffle House? Oh, wow. Wow. The outro is pretty powerful. But what I love, I'll talk about the song in general first and then the outro a bit. But you know, then it gets into verse 3. You know, harder to love myself when all these people compliment me. It just reminds me of what I don't got. And the first thing that goes through my mind, because this is something my wife does, this is something that I will do. Instead of, you know, it being, you know, reminding me of something I don't got, I wonder if it's reminding him of something he doesn't give himself credit for. Because there are a lot of times I do this, my wife will do this, where we don't give ourselves credit for the things that we're doing because we have this idea of, well, that's what you're supposed to do. That's the minimum, you know? But you guys, anybody out there who's, if you're struggling, you got to give yourself credit for it, whatever it is that you do, whatever you actually do. It's a win. And one of these weird tricks that we play on ourselves is we don't treat it like a win because we treat it like that's what I'm supposed to do, right? Like instead of, it's like life has this whole scale of 0 to 100 in terms of, let's just say, accomplishing things or whatever, right? But instead of putting 0 at the bottom, it's like we put 0 at the middle. And you have to do all these other things because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to. And until you cross that threshold of like exceeding the average or exceeding expectations or actually, earning someone's, respect or whatever, right? It's like we disregard all the stuff we already do in this weird game so that we can kick ourselves for not accomplishing our own goals. When the reality is our goals are probably really fucking high. Our thresholds are probably really fucking high. And it's almost like creating this scenario of something that's unobtainable, then kicking ourselves for not obtaining it. And it's dumb. It's dumb. But I do it. My wife does it. I mean, I know other people who do it. This is something that just happens. And it's why? Why? Why do we do this? I don't know. So that line really stands out to me. Somehow it just reminds me of what I don't got. All these compliments, all these people these nice things that people say to me, say about me. But no. Instead of focusing on something maybe I do well, I'm going to focus on the things I don't do or I don't have or it doesn't feel real or whatever, But these folks don't care to know. They think you're rolling in dough, not realizing your next meal is a 4 for 4. That's another great addition, too. Still feeling the guilt that Walt never thought to call. Fighting myself to get out of bed. So the fight, basically the whole idea of I don't want to fight no more, what he's essentially saying is I don't want life to be such a fight. I'm tired of life being such a struggle. I'm tired of having to fight to get out of bed and fight with my girlfriend and fight with my grandparents and fight. All this shit. I'm just tired of fighting, which is perfectly reasonable. But then the outro comes along and holy shit, man. It's almost like this is what you're fighting against. This outro. Drove to Texas, slept at the Waffle House because they were kicked out of the hotel because they're all broke. Ain't got no mattress, slept on the floor. Then this little bit, me and Grandpa ain't spoke since I dropped out. Made sure on my first tour I stopped at his house, slept at the hotel, not your floor. So instead of staying with his grandpa, I stays at the hotel because now he has money because he's on tour. He tells me that he's proud of his boy. I'm not a janitor at Hammond Square no more. Wherever the fuck that is. But there's some spite there, isn't there? And I love that he does this because he's mentioning how he doesn't want to fight anymore. But then when he has the opportunity to make amends, to go to his grandfather's place, show him, hey, I'm doing well, I'm on tour, and stay with his grandfather. No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go stay at the hotel. That's a little bit of spite there. Not to judge Saba. That's nothing critical or judgmental of him. Just that he's expressing. I love that he's sharing that. He's showing that. Because again, we like to play these little games. I just learned it's no risk, no reward. I slept on the floor at La Port Authority. It cuts it short. Me and my friends all dropped tears. I got something in my throat. Heart been on the floor for a whole year. We're all broke. And I love the wordplay there. Like, we're all broke. Emotionally. We're crying. We're broken. And I have to assume that's because of his cousin. Great song. God, great album. Let's keep going. Track 6 is called Smile. Oh, interesting. Okay. Produced by Saba, Day Pivot, and probably Dowd. Yep, and Dowd. Dropped it into track 6. Track 5 gets a heart. This whole album's been great. Track 6, Smile.
Sweet West Side Chicago, 2-flat apartment, red brick and garden that's been forgotten. Grass all splotchy, vacant lots splotchy, bank accounts splotchy. And we talk like we from the South. Our parents from the South. And if I make $1 million, I'll vacation in the South. And I'll smile, 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 smile.
Huh.
Smile, 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 smile.
I like the bass line bumping around back there.
Life I be taking for granted. Capture the moment they can. My cousin be trapping, they came in the mail. I said I'm down next to plan. He said the shit sell itself. Grandma say, what is that smell? We turn the boom, how? Like me on King of the Hill. Niggas talk how they gon' keep it 100, but I'd rather keep it a mill. Everybody eat. I treat it like heat, so that mean it's not a joke. I said I'ma keep it the mill, the rule. That mean a higher note. My grandma from Pink Hill, and my granddaddy from Houston. And if I make $1 million, then I'ma tell them we moving. Smile, 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 smile.
Cool verse. I like how he finally like kind of picked up his flow and got to spitting right there. Warm outside and safe out playground. Grandma payroll cut. What does that mean? Payroll cut. Doesn't say. Okay. Cut up with my cousins. Dream about when we grow up. Tube socks slipping off our feet. Our souls is hella black. When we die, we go to heaven. No, my grandma taught me that. I done lost a friend or two. They moved, got in trouble for their friends. I don't mean Moulin Rouge. So they get in trouble for swearing too much. 2-on-2, our neighborhood unites. So playing basketball, I'm assuming there. Put my fam in the hotel when they can't pay for the lights. Life I be taken for granted. Capture the moment, the canon. It almost bums me out that he's rapping so quickly here because I feel like this line is so important. Life I be taken for granted. Capture the moment, the canon. My cousin be trapping and it came in the mail. It came in the mail. I sat him down, asked this man, he said, this shit says itself. Grandma said, what's that smell? We turned boomhauer like we're king of the hill. So they're cooking. They're cooking, which is funny. People talk like they're going to keep it 100, but I'd rather keep it a mill. Everybody eat a treat like he, so this means no joke. So I guess this is the true story. Let's keep going. Cool track.
All that I am is my family these days. Moment of madness, I can't seem to evade. More than a canvas, you carry me these days. Practice, I'm trying to remember. All that I am is my family these days. Moment of madness, I can't seem to evade. Our parents from the South. And if I make $1 million, I'll vacation in the South.
I feel like this whole South is a play on lots of different versions of South. Our sweet West Side Chicago. So then when he says we talk like we're from the South, I don't know if that means like South side of Chicago, but our parents are from the South, and so that to me I would assume as the southern part of the country. And then you get this, which implies a lot of American history with the South. But then this other line, if I make $1 million, I'll vacation in the South and I'll smile. All that I am is my family. Mistakes. Strange one right there. Moment of madness, I can't seem to evade. More than a canvas, you carry me these days. Practice, I'm trying to remember. All that I am is my family. So I like this track. I feel like it is a emphasis on recollection and just kind of remembering things. Jesus, that was just the most generic, pointless statement right there. Kind of remembering things. Really, what I like is, in this process of working through emotions, basically he's taking this time to, okay, look, I don't want to fight anymore, right? We talked about that. That was the last track. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to be... So how do you fight? Or how do you not fight? I'm sorry. Well, you look for positives. You look for things to celebrate instead of fight over. And in that, I like that he's basically kind of throwing back to these memories, this sweet West Side Chicago 2-flat apartment, talking about it's warm outside and we're playing 2-on-2 and grandma says we die, we go to heaven. And it's just, his cousin trying to cook cocaine, like just remembering some good things, putting a smile on his own face, remembering good times. That's how you avoid fighting. I was actually almost made this video a couple weeks ago because I was just kind of, basically a lot of my stress has been coming from work, my full-time job. And there's nothing, it's not like my job is terrible. It's a good job, but just things have been happening and it's kind of like, ah, God. Anyway, I almost made this video about, I was going to talk about, knowing where your smiles are. And specifically, I was going to talk about on YouTube, we go through and there's certain videos that we just love, right? That make us laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And maybe you start crying when you're laughing. And how powerful of a tool that is. Knowing what those videos are, remembering them, and if you're just having a bad day, like you maybe wake up in the morning, man, you're fucking cranky, whatever. Because I had a couple experiences where going into where it's just not feeling it, right? And then something happens, somebody says something, and what happens? I end up laughing. And then immediately I just feel, okay, a little better. Like the weight is off the shoulders kind of thing. It's not like the problems are all fixed and whatever, but like the power of laughter is so strong. It's so important to know when you can just go to that source. Like knowing something that every time you watch it, you laugh. Or having like 4 or 5 different ones, right? So you don't burn them out. And just do that. If you're just in this mood, you're just in a shit mood, you're pissed off, maybe you're mad at your significant other, or you're annoyed at this, or you're annoyed. Just take some time, stop, calm down, put on something that makes you laugh. And it just shatters that ice. Shatters it. It's so important. And really, that's what this track is about. Smile. Smile. And you can't force yourself to do it. That's why it's important to know where your favorite things are so you can call on them. It's like a spell almost. You conjure up some laughs and then you feel so much better. Yeah. Good stuff. I'll probably make a clip of that. Good track. Let's keep rolling. That was track 6. That gets a heart. This whole album's going to get a heart. I can tell already. Track 7 is called Log Out. Featuring Chance the Rapper. Produced by Saba, Dede, and Dowd. Dropping in track 7, Log Out. Cool piano. Oh, a little bit of guitar in there. A little bit of guitar.
If you press log out, you get forgotten what's supposed, but a reminder just how boring our lives are. Look at how much fun I'm having. Ain't no beauty in the absence of broadcasting till you fall. I seen us selecting naked. I seen us exhibit behavior. I see famous people.
Interesting rhyming scheme there.
I just wanna follow bad, maybe 10 till you fall. Play back, say that. That's just the way that the game go. After the rain, it's a rainbow. I see a product you paid for. Shit get forgotten today. Oh, if I cannot log in, they started a rumor that I got shot like a dead go. I don't walk without my headphones. I don't got cable in my crib. I don't even know how we got here. Be independent is my fit. Government look like the my fit. Censoring out what you watching. Internet. I seen us selecting naked. I seen us exhibit behavior. I see famous people. I don't want no autograph.
There's that horn just back there.
Everybody insecure, especially people with everything. Why you think they got everything? How would you think they got it? Ooh. Everybody insecure, especially people with everything. Why you think they got everything? How would you think I got everything? Look,
everything's on camera. Everything's on camera. Everybody want handouts. Everybody got pamphlets. Everybody wants Santa. Everything is on camera. Everybody want pics now. Everybody got antlers. Don't nobody like selfies on their own page. I know people with their friend requests as their homepage. Ain't put a picture on their wall since the Stone Age. Feel locked up in their own cage when they on stage.
If you press log out, you get forgotten what's supposed, but a reminder just how boring our lives are.
And then it just stops. Wow. That was a cool track too. I love this final line. Feel locked up in their own cage when they're on stage. Cool track. If you press log out, you get forgotten. What's a post but a reminder of just how boring our lives are. I really like that statement right there. What's a post but a reminder of just how boring our lives are. But I don't entirely agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think it's fun sometimes just get online and fuck around, Look at how much fun I'm having. Ain't no beauty in the absence of broadcasting to your followers. So really what he's saying is the only beauty is when you're showing off kind of a thing. I seen a celeb get naked. I seen obsessive behavior. I see famous people all over. I don't want to autograph. I just want to follow back. Maybe tag your followers. Playback, they say that that's just the way the game goes. After the rates are rainbow, I see a product you paid for. Shit gets forgotten a day old. This is something I can click with right here, because this is how I'm starting to feel with recently with music. Not myself specifically, but I mean, some of these big releases come out and everyone's all hyped up and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then 2 weeks go by and there was all of this hype. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's almost like, what are the fish that go crazy? They all, as a group, they frenzy and eat everything, and then it's just gone, and then they're gone. Piranha. It's like that. It's weird to me. It's very weird. Anyway, so this kind of clicks with me a bit there. Being so excited for something, and then the next day, it's just, who cares? Don't even care anymore. What was driving the excitement? You know? I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to rant on that. I don't really have anything important to say or useful to say. If I can't log in, they said a rumor I got shot like a day ago. I don't walk without my headphones. Don't got cable in the crib. I don't even know how I got here. Being dependent is my fear. Government looks like the mafia, censoring what you're watching. Internet turned me inanimate object. Solitaire is more than a game with your card. I don't understand. I get the idea, but what's this? Here's the annotation for the internet turned me an inanimate object. Important because it communicates the overall point he's trying to make in the first verse. Social media presence seems to be more important as to how we present ourselves in real life. Saba points out its insecurities. Okay. Sure. So basically, the internet turned me an inanimate object. It's almost like the idea of you turn yourself into a product. Which, yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. Can't change the channel. It'll stay in our hearts. Stay in the public. Pray to your God. Need validation. I'm too insecure. Characters defined 140, which is the character limit on Twitter. 280, you post your story. I guess that's Instagram, I suppose. Maybe their character limit is higher. I'm from the 290, 2 sides to each story. Yeah, I'll be your friend, but you cannot follow me. And then let's check out Chance's. Chance's verse was interesting because everything's on camera. People want handouts. Everybody's got pamphlets. You know, everybody wants something for free, but also everybody's also selling something. Good little line right there. Everybody wants Santa, wants gifts. Everything's on camera. Everybody wants pics. Everybody's got antlers. That I didn't fucking get at all. Everybody's my kid now. Everybody's got Pampers. Everything's on me now. Everybody's got cameras. Ain't nobody got Chancellor. Ain't nobody got answers. Ain't nobody praying for me. That was the first thing that went through my head. Kendrick. Ain't nobody praying for me. All I'm scratching their head now. Ain't nobody got dandruff. I don't know. Feel locked up in their own cage when they're on stage. Good shit. Let's keep going. This is track 8. It's called Gray. Same production crew. Drop it in. Track 8, Gray.
The best song was probably on the B-side. Won't be surprised when the label denied the
I have to pause real quick because I can't tell you, especially back in the 90s, you know, when it was radio and CDs. That was the 90s, music. And I can't tell you how many times I bought a CD and I'd be like listening to it, you know, because you listen to the radio hits. Oh, okay, cool. And then you listen to the rest of the album. It's like, well, this song's way fucking better. How come this one's not on the radio? Why are they playing the hell out of that damn song when this one's way better? So I really connect with that line right there.
The best song was probably on the demo, but that's not the one that got to your limousine. The single, the one that wasn't as honest. But this is what they say make you the hottest.
Hottest in the game.
Sometimes I think about the pressures of an artist and what it takes to get called a success even with no college. We barely even considered. Don't label me with them niggas. Infatuation with plastic. I wanted it to be realer. First they wanted it hip hop and then they wanted gorilla and then they wanted drug dealer and then they wanted a dancer. Now they wanted drug addict. Infatuation with plastic. White girl wanna be sister. Driver wanna be walker and walker wanna be sitter. The single, the one that wasn't as honest. But this is what they said make you the hottest in the game.
I like how there's a little bit of a flourish right there when it says, but this is what makes you the hottest.
Pressures of the label and what it take to get paid for. Discovering art they ain't no existed. I know it ain't your intention to try and change me. Multi-million your children, private school late attending, an album selling what did it. I shuck and jive a good nigga.
So I clicked this annotation earlier because I didn't really understand. The sitter wants to be walking, or sitter want to be walker, and walker wants to be driving. Or I'm sorry, that's different from the previous verse. The previous verse was driver, white girl wants to be sister, and the annotation, you can't see it on the screen, but it's just talking about like plastic surgery and white people getting plastic surgery that's characteristic to more of a, I guess, black. Here's the wording: work done in order to get characteristics associated with black heritage. That's what the annotation says. But then the next line, driver want to be walker and walker want to be sitter. And the annotation is talking about how, a driver would probably rather be walking because it's more healthy rather than sitting all the time. And then a walker wants to be a sitter because that means they're getting driven around more, which makes sense. But then you get to the next part. A sitter wants to be a walker. A walker wants to be driving. And that's right after the question from the record company. If it's so bad, then hey, why the hell are they signing? Basically, they're just trying to move up. They're trying to get anything they can. And that's not really important at all. Right? Like, of all the things to focus on in this track, like, that's probably the least important shit to focus on. But I was so confused by it, I was just thinking about it the whole time. Let's keep rolling. Looks like there's a long outro, so let's keep rolling. Cool song, though. I'm enjoying this one. I like the just the frustrations of dealing with a record label telling you, no, this will not be your single.
The single, the one that wasn't as honest. But this is what they said make you the hottest and don't nobody wanna be great, everybody wanna be seen, and nobody wanna be quiet. Everything is carefully, back with more clarity, back like consecutive. I told you, look, everything is great, everything is great, everything is great, everything.
The everything is gray. What I get from that is, gray is like a very just neutral color. It's not a very energetic or warm color. You can kind of associate it with being sad, like the fog and stuff like that. But it's interesting that he's saying that with such emphasis, with such music in the production. And the chorus, Saba shows us the gray side of the situation. He talks about that being sacrificed in his original records for the ones that will sell the most. When he says everything is gray, he is referring to the realization that although those actions have provided him the most money, he feels that due to what he had to sacrifice to obtain the money, everything around him is gray, as he feels as maybe, sure. Saba's delivery when shouting everything is gray also serves as a way for him to communicate to everyone that while the industry may seem appealing and everyone seems happy, it's not always the case. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't disagree with that. Or I guess I don't mean to say that that's like wrong, but I don't know if that's what he's really getting at. Give it my all. These melodies, therapy. I keep it moving thoroughly. Or kept it thoroughly. Pivot the legacy. How could you not be moved? Offering the thought for food. Authoring that art that moved. Care for me, carefully back with more clarity. Back like consecutive. I told you, I love this. I told you, motherfuckers, like Oedipus, which is the Oedipus complex, is people who want to have sex with their mother. So that's well done right there. Carefully editing every word, everything's got to be cherished. Give it my all. These melodies, therapy. Everything is gray. Everything is gray. Care for me carefully. I mean, now that I go through that verse again, this outro again, yeah, I think that the the annotation is pretty good. Like, yeah, it seems to be expressing some frustration towards, I'm putting all this effort into these melodies that are my therapy. I'm trying to make it moving. I'm trying to make it authentic. But then here's the record label telling me, no, not that one. And so feeling gray because of it, I guess. I don't know. The gray part is really what's kind of throwing me off. Everything is gray. All right. Well, the next track is called Prom/King. There's been a lot of little warnings about this. Bob, this one's gonna crush you. On Wikipedia, it did mention that there's a unwritten or unacknowledged spoken part by his cousin, I guess, in here. So let's do track 9. It's a longer one, 7.5 minutes. Gray gets a heart. I enjoy Gray. Dropping in track 9, Prom King.
This remind me of before we had insomnia. Sleeping peacefully, never needed a pile of drugs. Everybody was college bound. No dollar amounts, in God we trust. Senior year, my prime ain't had no party bus. My cousin hit me on Facebook like, what shorty you taking? I'm lying, I'm playing, I'm saying I got one to take and I'm waiting on her response. Wrote her a 3-page letter, it's 3 days later. Never hit me back, she broke my heart. So now he eyeing me shit like, yo, is shorty bad? I pretend not to be depressed, she never wrote me back. I hit him back like, yo, well, fuck her, it's on to the next. I wrote that message thinking I'm awkward, probably never had sex. You know, in high school, 16, you probably late. My cousin hit me back, don't trip, bro, I got you a date. So he sent me this link to some girl I had never seen. He said to call her, tell her Walter sent you with me. I think about it for a minute, like what's his intentions? I mean, we never really got along or used to kick it. In fact, if I remember vividly, he picked on me. He used to beat me up and take my sneakers every family visit. I'm skeptical to let her know I'm Walter's little cousin. What if this shit all a joke? Then again, what if it wasn't? Would I really risk the chance of me potentially fucking on some stranger daughter? Cause I barely know if I could trust him. Probably not. I finally call her, tell her Walter sent me, my name Taj. Walk down the street, hella surprised. This way y'all place at? Uncle Carl, Auntie Deborah, my cousin Rena. And I'm surprised too, my family knew, kept this a secret. Me and Cuz stayed down the street, living different lives. Every day he on the bus, me I get a ride. I gave him 30 on the porch, he never went inside. He tell me thank you, then he walked back home with a smile.
That part right there. I gave him 30 on the porch, he never went inside. I feel like that's, I want to say that's huge, but the reason why I stop and emphasize this is because it's funny the things that stick in our brains will remember something, especially, I'm assuming, this whole story, I don't know how this is going to go down, but he's sharing the story with us. So there's a special meaning to the story, special to him for whatever reason, and we'll find out as it evolves. But the fact that he mentions he never went inside, that means he remembers that distinctly, and that's just there in his mind for whatever reason. It's there enough to mention, because that's not a specific thing that you would mention. Like, it doesn't really matter, one way or the other. But what if he didn't invite him in? What if there was a reason for it, and now he feels that guilt? So there's something driving his need to mention that his cousin never came inside. And that just sticks out very strong to me.
I know my brother not, so all three of us went to the park and ran some niggas off the court. I'm hella passive, I was passing, I ain't have to score. The next day, the prom, I couldn't sleep, I stayed up. My granddad gave me a condom, then walked away, didn't say none. She hopped out of a car and said that her name was Jada. My heart's racing, I'm focused, I'm trying to keep it player. Gave her the croissant, a corsage, or whatever the fuck my mom handed me and said, now put it on a hand, Malik. Family ties, my grandfather taught me how to tie for tie, cause my dad lived in NY. That's probably why I was shy, so self-conscious. Took pictures on the porch and then we headed for the prom end.
Another thing that's important about this story, and I'm so happy it's happening towards the end of the album, because he's emphasized, he's spoke on, I don't want to fight anymore, but having some fights with his grandfather. Here he's mentioning his grandfather. He's giving him the condom, teaching him how to tie a tie. His father's gone in New York, And we've also gone through Smile, which was Saba talking about memories and reflecting on memories and positive, happy times and, you know, smiling at these things. So there's a lot that has brought us to here, which is good. This is well done. Well done.
Some stranger get really close. I swear that I hear his breath. Then he put a knife to my neck. Gave me the rundown like Jada, my sister. And if you hit her, fuck her, make her miss you, I'ma kill you. At this point, I'm just exhausted, wondering where the fuck's Walter. He shows up like 30 minutes after our altercation. I never mentioned it to him. He kinda overprotective. And I know if I tell him that he'll beat this nigga skull in, turn his body a skeleton, and I night it and terrible, I excel and say fuck it. And I just chose to let it go.
I just chose to let it go. I'm just pausing here because this is a story, it's reflective, but it's also being shared. And it's, I mean, obviously this type of event would be very memorable to a person, having a knife put to your throat, right? But it's, I mean, I have an idea of where this is going. But what I'm trying to do is be empathetic to Saba and you know, how many times has he run this scenario through his head with the idea of, what if I did this? What if I did this? What change and decision do I make that leads to a different outcome? You know? All right, let's keep going. I kind of don't want to, but let's keep going.
I get caught up, I ain't Walter, I'm a product of my age. He talked to Ed girl downtown Chicago, wingman. I cannot fly though, he was in Cal, white Impala, he was that nigga in the party. Awfully popular for someone that they barely mention. Plus we from the part of the city that they barely mention. Just logged into Twitter and somehow we was barely mentioned. We signed our name on an open mic list and then they skipped us. And then they skipped us again like a week later. Like obviously this fucking host can't read the paper. Hella intimidating, the big guy didn't have to flex. So Walter walked to the host and said, this the name you calling next. Bullied our way to the stage and then overstayed our welcome. An apple never get too far from the tree that it fell from. He said he with TY on the highway and some niggas just tried to kill him. Emptied the clip on the car but somehow they didn't hit him. Sometimes Jesus. I fucking hate Chicago cause I hate this feeling. Innocent niggas get shot at in the broad day, the AM. I asked him for a play-by-play of how their whole day went. He said he went to export and they ran him for court, and I cannot retort without thinking that this can't be the reason. So what else you do? What about Ty? Is he still cool? Where you on your way from and where you on your way to? He say he just left for dinner at a friend crib and that's it. He say Ty don't do shit but smoke. Honestly, Saba, that's it.
The fucking rage that's coming.
Drop bucket list, water about to drop a tape. Everything going perfect, couldn't paint a better way. Pivot gang is on the way, we just sold out Lincoln Hall. Then I went to Dr. Sway, I got back home and got back on it. Cause Rob was doing 2 a day, sending me links to something that he made. Kid Cudi, we are not running our ways. Hey, grandma made this play, we played 2K, that's just the day before. Fatima got a show tomorrow, he text me, hey, we in that hole. I went to the barber shop the first thing the next morning. Then I got up with legit, we supposed to do some recording. 10 minutes into the session, I got a call from a number that I don't got saved. But I answer anyway, she says, hello, Malik, have you or Squeak talked to my son today? He was just on the train. We got in the car, but we didn't know where to drive to. Fuck it, wherever you are, my nigga, we'll come and find you.
Huh.
Just another day in the ghetto. Oh, the streets bring sorrow. Can't get up to date with the schedule. I just hope I make it to tomorrow.
So that's it. It just happened. You know, there's a lot I'm trying to just process and think of, and The first thing that is going through my mind is, you know, I was putting so much emphasis early, right, in understanding and knowing how his cousin's killed. And how, you know, violent. And so I kind of had this assumption based on how this song was going. Oh, maybe he was there, which is awful. This is awful. But then this is like, it just happened. He's just gone. And I don't know which is worse. Which might sound stupid. I mean, I think on the surface, it would be obviously worse if you're there and you see your cousin get murdered like that. But this is just theft. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to cry, but I do try my best to not ugly cry. You know, I try to like keep it together so I can at least fucking do this. Because as soon as that like full dam gives way, Jesus. God. I didn't pour myself any water beforehand. I'm unprepared. Saba does an incredible job. Just building this fucking rage. God damn. And then it's just evaporation. You know, you're kind of there for the phone call that he has with him the day before. His cousin's getting shot at and all this crazy shit's going like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck, you know? And then it turns out he's fine. And of course, you're still like on that adrenaline, that fucking whole, you know, the high, not like it's a good high, but there's that high from that. While everything's going so well for them. Everything's going so well. Then out of nowhere, this thing comes up and then, you know, you think, fuck, that's crazy, and then you survive it, and then the next day he's just gone. Fuck. Fuck. And then they find it, right? Then they find out. God damn, dude. Part of me is wondering if the prom story is an association with this, with the stabbing. Part of me is wondering if it was the same person, if it ends up being related to this Jada person, her brother. I don't know. Fuck, man. I kind of want to just go sit and cry for no particular reason other than to just do that. Jesus. Just one more song. Heaven All Around Me. Track 10. Dropping in. Here we go.
Yelling at my mother like I know you hit me. Get a little closer, repeat. Bus driver pass me up, don't see me. Paramedic talk about what he need. He need his oxygen. They seem incompetent. I see the consequence. I walk where I can't hear them. They're inaudible. I got a light, I gotta go.
This is Uncle.
For follicle. I promise y'all I'm not a ghost. I promise y'all. Look, there's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around. No, I can't feel pain, but I can see the stars. I ain't even vain, but I know we with God. just bled out because they got chalk outline, look like the shape of my shadow. And go right through the wall if I try touch. There's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me.
Chalk outline looks like the shape of my shadow. It just that puts a visual in my head of, you know, you just this visual, that's idea of walking by a chalk outline and the sun's just right, and as you walk by, your shadow fits into it. I don't understand what this song is necessarily about. What's the little summary? I'm gonna read the summary because I'm kind of confused here. Saba raps from the perspective of his cousin after being stabbed and killed. Okay, this concludes the story. Okay, so this is from the perspective of his cousin. Okay. Let's keep going.
There's heaven, heaven, heaven.
God, that makes the shape of my shadow fucking even worse. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now it hits. Oh.
There's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me. No, I can't feel pain, but I can see the stars. No, I ain't even vain, but I know we with God. There's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me.
And of course, you know, Granny says we all go to heaven when we die. I was trying to keep my shit together, man. Fuck, man. That was a lot. That was a lot of everything. A lot of pain. A lot of beauty. A lot of rage. A lot of helplessness. A lot. Those last two, man. A lot. Man, I don't really have a lot to say. Beautiful outro, beautiful closing section there. You know, heaven all around me, and just kind of drifts off. That's it. I can't feel your pain, but I can see the stars. I ain't leaving vain. I know we're with God. Yelling at my brothers, now that I know the perspective, this is like way harder. Yelling at my mother, like I know you hear me. Get a little closer, repeat. Bus driver pass up, don't see. Paramedic talk about what he needs. He needs oxygen. They seem incompetent. I see the consequence. I walk where I can't hear them. They're inaudible. I go up like I gotta go. I'm not a ghost, promise y'all. Look. Oh my God. I don't want to keep reading this. So I'm going to keep reading this. This is important. I don't know if I can. Jesus. Wow. I can't read it out loud. I shouldn't have tried. I shouldn't have tried. I knew. I was like, you're not gonna be able to do it. Well, let's try. I shouldn't have tried. Shouldn't have tried. Holy shit, man. Wow. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's hard, but it's beautiful. This album came out, 2018. It was a while ago. I hope, I hope Saba's doing okay. I don't know anything about the guy. I hope he's doing okay. Huh. You know, and while this is hard for me to take in and deal with too, one of the things that goes through my mind is, how many people out there are dealing with this just all the time. Like, not to say that I cannot cry over this, but this didn't even happen to me. And the perspective I'm considering right now is the people who are out there who just, oh yeah, again, another friend died today, and how I'm sure there are some people out there where it's just happened so many times, like I don't even fucking cry anymore, and not that they're wrong, or it's just how, fuck man, there's some ugliness out there. I saw a picture today. I'm getting more and more skeptical with everything I see on the internet, but it was basically a before and after. Somebody sent a friend a before and after of their neighborhood in Gaza, and it's just gone. It's gone. It's gone. And I reference Gaza because it's something that we all are, aware of, right? But gang violence and drug addiction, and just like there's that channel, what is it, Soft White Underbelly? That's an incredible channel. If you've never seen Soft White Underbelly on YouTube, fucking look it up. It's just, it's real shit. It's just as real as it gets, man. It's hard to watch, but it's important to watch too, I think. But man, it's fucking hard. One thing I don't want to admit, but it is true, is one of the things that's going through my head right now is that's life, right? And as much as I tried during the reaction to that song of saying, look, yeah, that's life, but with an asterisk. Yeah. And it is, but it's true in the sense that that's life, in that life is all of these things. It's all of these things. It's the good and the bad and the ugly and the beautiful. It's all of it, whether we like it or not. I'm a big fan of Alan Watts, who's like this Buddhist speaker. You can find a lot of his stuff on YouTube. I don't remember which one, but he talked once about there's a small group of monks that felt the only question to seriously consider was whether or not to commit suicide. And I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, what the God, that's like so dark, right? You don't necessarily think of monks, Buddhist monks, being so dark, from the DC universe type thing, right? But as I listened to him speak on it more, and then I just kind of considered the idea in my own mind, really I came to find that I thought that was beautiful, in the sense of, if the only thing to seriously consider is whether or not to commit suicide, I came to the conclusion of what you're doing is you're saying, yes, I will live, and yes, I accept all the terms that come with living. Because life comes with a lot. A whole lot. Ups and downs and sideways and stagnations and exhilarations and just a lot. And sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes we focus on the wrong things. Often. Unfortunately, it seems like, right? But we can kind of, in a weird way, choose what life is. We can choose to look at the beauty, or we can choose to look at the ugliness. And sometimes it comes to us, Sometimes life happens to us, and we have to deal with it. But in this age, with the internet and all this shit flying around all over the place, we're going and looking for it. And we choose what we look for. Now, of course, there's algorithms out there that, are designed for maximum engagement. And unfortunately, it's been found that maximum engagement is really pissing people off, enraging them. And that's how you get them engaged in your content, which is fucking garbage. But it is what it is. So that just means we have to make more of a focused effort on finding the beautiful. Sometimes it's hard to find. Sometimes it's hard to fucking get out of bed, Sometimes that first step of finding the beautiful is the struggle. like Saba said here, I don't really have any words of wisdom right now, unfortunately. I'm just here. I'm just kind of taking it in once again. Let's watch some music videos. Let's come down a little bit. Well, or it might make it all worse, right? Who knows? Who really knows? But that's life right there as well. You never fucking know what's coming. So just keep living it as well as you can. Good or bad, ugly cry or not. One thing I really like is how well you guys have come to know me and what I enjoy in music, in art. Because you were right on this one. You were absolutely right.